Wow, look at this view. Welcome to a new journey with the Backpack Vlog channel. Today we are starting a very cool itinerary through Switzerland, where we are going to see major cities, idyllic villages, and ski resorts. Our main idea is to see what you can do in this country if you don't ski or snowboard. Let's get to it. Switzerland is known for its beautiful villages and fabulous landscapes. In this episode, we will take a look at glamorous St. Moritz, experience the hot springs of Bad Ragaz, and visit a few more interesting places along the way. Without a doubt, one of the best things to do in Switzerland is to enjoy these incredible lakes and the mountain scenery. I think even the local ducks admire these beautiful views. We are in St. Moritz, and this is the first stop of our journey in Switzerland. It's up there in the mountain. We are at an altitude of 1,800 meters. It's quite cold here, about 10 degrees centigrade below zero. But it's not an excuse not to walk through this beauty. St. Moritz is one of the oldest winter holiday resorts in Europe and the world. It has one of the most expensive ski resorts, and this lake, which usually freezes over in winter, is used for polo and all other kind of events, including even horse racing. To be honest, I'm starting to get a little cold and it's starting to get dark, so I suggest we go get warm at our hotel right here, where the views are spectacular. Follow me. Wow, look at this view. This mountain valley region is called Engadine, and we've come to my room not only to warm up, but also because I wanted to show you something else that amused me, which apparently is quite typical here. They leave you binoculars in the room and a note that says, "We hope you enjoy our views." How cute is that? The truth is that the Swiss are super nice. St. Moritz is located in the Engadine Valley and is known for its simple and unpretentious beauty. In winter, the mountains here merge with the crystal clear lakes and it all turns into a real fairy tale. Skiing has been very popular here for a long time. In the mid-19th century, the hotelier Johannes Badrut opened a small establishment here, which began to attract the upper and middle class from all over Europe. Then, in the 20th century, many celebrities fell in love with it, such as Alfred Hitchcock, who filmed The Man Who Knew Too Much here. The architecture in this region is quite distinctive. Look at these modern houses and these more traditional ones. And here's a cool little house. Of course, we're in St. Moritz, and it's one of the most expensive places on the planet. And you'll certainly be amazed with the architecture of the houses here, as well as the hotels and public buildings. And sometimes you'll even find surprises. Take a look at this. This building is called Casa Futura, and it was designed by Norman Foster. This apartment block is famous for its aesthetics and the fact that it's mostly made out of wood and glass. As you can see, although St. Moritz is not famous for its architecture, there are many impressive buildings here. But since the village is not exactly flat, it's quite difficult to walk around. So, to get a good look at it, we've decided to take a ride in a horse-drawn carriage.
Wow.
It's so warm under the blanket. It's pretty cold today, but it's very comfortable to ride in the carriage under such a warm blanket. Some of the fun activities you can do here include horseback riding, sleigh rides, and carriage rides, among many others. We're going to go to a little ride around St. Moritz now, and then head up to the mountain. This is a great way to get to know the city. Covered in a blanket as thick as a brick, we got a chance to see the city and the outskirts and to appreciate the landscapes. This ride through the city streets and along the ski slopes was an unforgettable experience. How are you guys doing? I'm sorry you had to take us for a ride. Anyhow, you can see that they're well taken care of and get more than enough to eat. Thank you. St. Moritz is located in the canton of Graubünden, the only canton with 3 official languages: German, Romansh, and Italian. The influence of Italian culture is quite noticeable in the local people as well as in the food, but generally here you can find a little bit of everything from all over the country, including traditional Swiss gastronomy, game meat, mountain fish, cheeses, buns, and orange cookies. We're in the Italian-speaking region. So many restaurants here serve pizza and pasta, but this restaurant stands out because first of all, they make extremely delicious mulled wine, which is typical for this area, as well as Germany. I've also discovered here an unusual drink called Rivella. It is a natural product made from milk whey, in which sugar, water, and gas are added. It has a very unusual taste and reminds me of Russian kvass, but with cream. And of course, the star dish today is going to be this pizza with seasonal truffles. It's very tasty. It costs an arm and a leg, but it sure is tasty. Funiculars appeared in Switzerland in the 1880s to tackle the steep valley slopes. The first ones were built to carry freight and passengers. Then, over time, they also became popular tourist attractions. And even if we're not going to go ski, we can't miss the chance to ride in one of these cable cars that take people to the ski resorts. Take a look. Rides on the funicular, cable cars, and chairlifts are quite an experience. We spend the afternoon exploring the Engadine Valley, which is home to no less than 13 ski resorts, countless villages, and hotels, and more than 160 kilometers of slopes. Right now I don't know if we're going up to St. Moritz or if we're going the opposite direction. Honestly, I'm totally confused. I think my mind isn't working very well because of the cold. And as you can see, we are on an open chairlift and it's starting to take its toll. We're lucky because it's very sunny today. It's been much colder in the last few days here, although I'm still cold. The next day, we continued north towards Bad Ragaz, but first we decided to recharge our batteries in a very nice place. The Sur-Silva region, where Laax is one of the most famous villages, is an hour-and-a-half drive from St. Moritz, and it's also located in the canton of Graubünden. It is a popular tourist destination for skiing and snowboarding, with a large number of slopes for all levels. In addition, most of them are more than 2,000 meters above sea level, so you can imagine what the views are like. Now we're visiting a new ski resort, in this amazing transparent cabin with cool windows. This resort is located between Falera, Flims, and Laax, and connects these 3 villages to each other. It's not so crowded, and it's also cheaper than other resorts in Switzerland. Of course, it's still expensive, more expensive than resorts in Austria or Italy, for instance, but relative to other local resorts, the prices are moderate. If you come here to ski, the daily ski pass will cost you 70-80 euros, but if you just want to walk around the area and just use its lifts, you'll pay 43 to 44 euros per day. You can still have a really great time. Just look at that beautiful sunlight. Laax and the neighboring villages have a great nightlife, and there are a huge number of bars, restaurants, and discos. We arrived at noon and we were very hungry. Fortunately, Switzerland never disappoints. And one of the places we just had to visit here was the Galaxy Bar restaurant. Look how unusual it is. The building is circle-shaped and it overhangs the mountain, so it has an incredible panoramic view. It's a famous place. A lot of parties are held here. People come here to dance, drink, and even take off their ski suits, so anything can happen here. There's always music playing, and the atmosphere is great. Check this out. Even though we're big fans of Italian food, we were really craving some sausages. In Switzerland, Austria, and Germany, you can find hundreds of very similar varieties, but the Swiss have one in particular, the cervelat, made from beef, pork, bacon, and spices. Does it get better than eating sausages practically on top of the world? You can find sausages of all types and sizes here, but the ones with cheese inside are just amazing. And of course, what's lunch without mulled wine? After a half-hour drive northeast, we arrived at our final destination in the beautiful canton of St. Gallen, Bad Ragaz. It's a secret treasure in the heart of the Swiss Alps, where fresh air, silence, and nature reign. This place attracts people seeking tranquility and wellness, with its thermal baths, as well as adventure lovers and hikers. We arrived in the evening just in time for dinner. Of course, the most important thing to enjoy in Switzerland is the food. Tonight, we're having a fondue for dinner. We've ordered HEIDI fondue because we've been told it's the local one. Everything here is associated with the children's character, Heidi. Tourist attractions, stories. This fondue has meat in it and some ham or mortadella. But not so many people know about this dish, a raclette. It's a Swiss national dish, which, like fondue, is prepared with melted cheese on a special tabletop oven, and it's eaten with vegetables, meat, and other products. Both should be very tasty. Let's try it. Yummy. The next morning, we took a walk around the town and we loved it. Bad Ragaz, you can find many typical buildings for the region, built in an understated but elegant style. Its streets are very quiet, and there are several places in its vicinity to walk to. After climbing the mountain again, we've come to another cool place. We are at FREUDENBERG Castle, a very significant castle that was built in the early 13th century and was one of the largest castles in the area. Unfortunately, it's very old and has been through many ordeals, so there's not much left of it. Part of the wall, the round defensive tower that we can see, and a small part of the castle. But we were told the views from here are incredible, so I think this climb will be worth it. What idyllic scenery! What tranquility, except for the road. It's very quiet, probably also because it's Sunday. And since it's Sunday, we absolutely must visit the church. It's LEONHARD Church, and we wanted to see it because it's one of the most famous churches in the area. It's a very important church not only for Bad Ragaz, but also for the people of the surrounding valleys, because it's been a center of pilgrimage since the 14th century. So it's one of the oldest churches in the whole region, and together with the castle, it is one of the area's 2 national monuments. When we entered the church, we found ourselves completely alone there. The light that was coming through the large windows gave the space a very special atmosphere, and the paintings in the main aisle transported us back to the Middle Ages. By the way, there are some things preserved from the early period here, such as the consecration cross. For those who like religious art or cultural tourism, Bad Ragaz can offer much more than just thermal springs and fresh air. That day, we even arrived in time to see a Christmas concert at the Catholic Church. And at these latitudes, concerts at this time of year are a big deal. We couldn't leave Bad Ragaz without visiting the place that most people come here for. Bad Ragaz is a spa town. There are many thermal springs here. There's a thermal spring called TAMINA, which is located in the mountains. It's closed to the public, but at least we're going to enjoy its water. The place is amazing. The thermal springs of Bad Ragaz have a long history. The first spring was discovered by hunters in a mountain near the village back in the year 1240. For centuries, the baths were carved right into the rocks, and the water was then transported from there to the surrounding villages. Today, the Bad Ragaz Thermal Resort is an internationally renowned spa that includes hotels, a luxury restaurant, thermal pools, saunas, and Turkish baths. In total, there are more than 8,000 square meters of facilities, which can be enjoyed for 30 to 50 euros per day if you're not staying in one of the hotels. Too bad we can't see the spring itself, but at least we got to see a waterfall. It's not bad either. There are many pools here, and most of them have hot thermal water, but we want to try a cold water pool. By the way, we're not really supposed to film here, so this is between just us and you. Do you want to know what's going on here? A girl over there from Pontevedra told me, try it, it's great. It's hot and cold therapy. It's very good for your blood circulation. Yeah, of course. What happened here? That girl from Galicia saved my life. This was the best place for us to get ready for our next video. That's because next week we'll be visiting 3 countries in one weekend, and we'll show you a very unusual place, as well as 2 of the most interesting cities in Europe. We hope you'll join us. If you've enjoyed watching this video, give us a like, and if you don't want to miss the next one, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell. See you soon, world travelers!